presentation.
Thanks, Ivan. Welcome to everybody, and as you join us during the course of the morning, welcome to Business Chats. Business Chats is then a business platform sponsored by the Community Chamber of Commerce, and we'll tell you more about the Community Chamber of Commerce and some of the membership options later on. But the idea is that any person in South Africa who is serious about becoming a builder and not just a complainer, and wants to be actively involved in building the new economy, we've created this forum that takes place every Friday morning from 9 to 10. And we will start the morning every morning with an introduction by one of our members on a topic of business that's relevant for the day and the time period that we're in. And then afterwards, we will then move over to discussion. And then during discussion, people will get a chance to give their input on the topic of the day. And that way we all become smarter and learn more. So if you enjoy this format, please share the Zoom ID with your friends, and let's start building this business chat into a very exciting forum. So our member, Verne Pagel, is a very successful business lady in a specific field that not many of us know much about, because it's not our cup of tea and we tend to avoid it. But I've asked her to do a talk for us on the issue of compliance with the subheading risk versus reward. So Verne, over to you, and tell us a bit about you and your company, and then take us into your topic.
Okay, and welcome, and thank you to the Chamber for asking me to do a short talk about a business passion of mine. I've been involved in some way in compliance for over 30 years. And although formal studying is the foundation for learning, nothing actually beats practical experience. 13 years ago, I realized that in order to fully follow my passion for compliance, I needed to start a company that provides a personalized service to entrepreneurs who generally didn't have the time and really don't have the interest to focus on this aspect of their business. Today, we're going to talk specifically about company compliance. What is compliance? It is adherence to a rule or a law. In this session, we'll be covering company regulatory compliance, which refers specifically to adhering to the laws and guidelines that regulate companies. When I refer to companies, I refer to all forms of corporate bodies. That's trusts, partnerships, non-profit organizations, sole proprietors, etc. While this list is not an exhaustive list, it does provide you with a starting point for a compliance health check on your company. Each topic is a course on its own. So let's just cover the basics for now. From the moment you decide to go into business, you need to be aware of your compliance obligations. Your company name cannot be similar to that of a registered company and may not contain offensive words. A private company, which most of us will set up, has to have at least one director and must adopt a set of rules. In South Africa, these rules are called Memorandum of Incorporation. There are standard rules that a company can adopt, and any changes that you make to these cannot conflict with the Companies Act. These rules will regulate how directors and shareholders are expected to conduct themselves. Even if your company does not require an annual audit, you're required to keep accurate accounting records, and these need to be retained for a minimum of 7 years, but 15 years is recommended. Every year, your company will need to submit certain returns. These include returns to SARS, CIPEC, the Department of Labour, and depending on your industry, there may be specific governing bodies to whom you need to submit returns. From June 21st, compliance with the POPI Act becomes compulsory for South Africa's companies. And every company that collects a customer information, basically this covers all companies and entities, as even if you retain only a client's telephone number, you need to ensure that all your client's information is kept in a secure location that cannot be accessed by authorized people. You may be asking how anyone could be passionate about compliance. It seems pretty boring. Well, no matter in which country you decide to set up a business, you'll have to comply with the country's regulatory structure in order to avoid penalties and to take advantage of the rewards for compliance. Our passion comes in with reaping the rewards of good governance, which entails companies not just meeting the minimum requirements of the law, but to rather reap the benefits of an integrated approach to compliance that involves all the company's stakeholders. A company's stakeholders include every person or entity that interacts or is affected directly or indirectly by your company. These include shareholders, directors, banks, staff, your community, clients, suppliers, and your competitors. Good governance ensures that a company's decisions will have a positive effect on all these stakeholders. The risks of non-compliance. Banks and other lending institutions will always do due diligence on a company before loaning it money or investing in it. As South Africans will know, that qualified audits of our state-owned enterprises and municipalities means that we don't trust those companies that receive a qualified audit. This means that the company did not comply with the minimum standards set by the auditors. Basically, something is wrong in the state of Denmark. There are some severe fines and penalties for non-compliance with the various acts, and these can result in bankruptcy for you or your company. Customers are more likely to deal with a company that is ethical and compliant than with one who is not. The rewards of compliance. If your company is diligent about it, it is easy to maintain compliance with a checklist that is regularly ticked off to ensure that documents are valid and current. Compliance enhances your company's reputation, resulting in a wider pool of customers with whom you can do business. It is much easier to regularly maintain your compliance as opposed to a mad scramble to get everything in order if you plan on selling your company or you're looking for investment or trying to raise funding for it. A company that has regular checks and balances is far less likely to fall victim to fraud. And of course, as a business owner, peace of mind that your company is in good health is vitally important. So thank you. And if you have any issues with compliance, you're welcome to contact Anchor Business Solutions. Thank you.
Thanks, Verne. That was very short and sweet, and you've given us some good headlines there. But now, for the rest of us, you're welcome to now come to the party and ask some questions.